And we're on a data C. So, obviously the first map here, not going to be the easiest for RYUNG. It's a very big map. It is a map that's pretty hard to push just because of how many angles the Zerg can approach it from. If you look at it, almost every extra base beyond, I mean, even the fourth, actually, the third and the fourth have 2 angles that you can attack from. But almost every base has the ability for the Zerg to set up multi-pronged attacks, to set up multiple angles, to try and get surrounds. It's a map that Zergs are really, really happy with this. Oh, okay, RYUNG. RAGNAROK committed a bit here to the Zerglings, and that's what I said. Man, I think, honestly, WTL, they haven't been doing their research. RAGNAROK, his offense should be a 10. He has been so aggressive, and it has been working for him in the GSL. It's just little moves like that. Finds 4 probes, shuts down that expansion, and gets the scout that, hey, this is going to be Hellions. But there's a Marauder. What's that Marauder doing there? Where's the concussive shell? Is my question. Or was that just a misclick? Okay, RYUNG. Honestly, I wouldn't. Yeah, no, Marauder's still in production. I don't mind it. Concussive Shell Marauder, here we go. This is a fun build here from RYUNG. Obviously, the Concussive Shell means that you can slow down the Queens. You can have Hellions or Hellbats if you get that armory up for RYUNG, and yep, there we go. And so this is a very aggressive build, but it can work out very well. I don't know if RYUNG or if RAGNAROK is going to be necessarily expecting something like this to come out. Roach Warren does finish up, though. And it's actually 6 roaches on the way. I think RAGNAROK has read this well. The Viking has landed. Queen's going to push back the initial Hellions. Armory has just now finished up, and so here we go. Marauders are here. 3 Marauders going to try and immediately slow down those Queens. Hellbat's going to walk on forward. 6 roaches are out. But, mind you, 6 roaches, it's Concussive Shell Marauders, so even though the roaches aren't necessarily good, I don't know if they're going to handle this. This is a build that's very, very hard to hold for RAGNAROK, and he needs to do so perfectly as more roaches coming on down. But again, it's, there's Vikings, there's Marauders. They fight very well against these roaches. I think there's enough, though, for RAGNAROK. Is he just going to push it back? And yeah, RYUNG's not even trying to kite it out. He knows that RAGNAROK has the correct response. As the third CC is immediately going to be placed down. And RAGNAROK knew exactly what to do. Just finger on that roach key. It was, 41, it was like what, 57 workers? Okay, roaches. And that's absolutely what he needed to do. Keep up that roach production. Hellions now going to try and find their way into the mineral line. Actually might be able to get off a few good shots here. And this worker damage might get pretty serious. Only 4 drones going down. 5. Could have been a lot worse there, RAGNAROK. Splitting up his drones pretty well. Now 6 Overlords on the way. A pretty massive supply block for RAGNAROK. He's going to have to get out of that as he's finishing up his lair. Gonna, I imagine, work on Glial Reconstitution. 4th hatchery also coming down, and RYUNG is going to have to do a lot of scrapping of his plans right now. The attack didn't work. He still, of course, has the Marauders available, so he can fight against that Roach army just a little bit better. And with Stim, +1 combat shields on the way, it will be a very strong push that RYUNG is going to be able to muster here. Tanks in production, additional barracks being placed down alongside this 3rd base, so it should be, I believe, is he going up to 5 racks, or is it just the 3 racks right now? I would love to get a shot of that. But we are going to see a drop come out with the Stim, obviously. RYUNG is going to want to try and clean up creep. The Raven is also going to come through from some harassment with that auto turret. Gonna find a drone, stop some mining here, exactly what you want to do. So now the drop also heading on out. Already spore crawlers there though. RAGNAROK prepared. Looks like just 3 racks for now for RYUNG. Tank production continuing. Or I think it should be continuing. Where? Oh no, the money, yeah. There we go. Additional tank coming down. The double upgrades and the combat shields obviously using up quite a bit. This drop is just going to be relegated to clean up creep, and I think right now that is fine for RYUNG, because mind you, he is preparing for that tank push. So you're not really going to be able to get a solid push if you don't have that creep cleaned up. And we're going to see a few more drones here go down. Nice auto turret harass, also going to weaken up some of those roaches. Another one in the main as well. Fortunately, focuses on an Overlord, which, you know, the Overlord just kind of floats away slowly but surely. Gets to safety, 2 drones go down. RYUNG just trying to keep Ragnarok occupied, though, trying to keep the Zerg back home in his base. At the same time, is sending out these drops. He's going to start to clean up creep, apply pressure, and behind all of this, well, it's actually a 4th command center going down. RYUNG, he's not even really getting ready for that 1-1 tank push. That's on the back burner right now with some nice focus fire onto these banelings. RYUNG gonna pick up just in time. Three more barracks on the way. RYUNG now is heading up to that 8 racks count. Starts up his 2-2, and now those upgrades just finishing up for Ragnarok. So we're even on upgrades before the Zerg. Starts up his 2-2 as well, and so there's not going to be that much of an advantage for RYUNG. And of course, that's the strength of this heavy Zergling style that Ragnarok is bringing out, as roaches have even been set aside here to help deal with the auto turrets, which is just, I mean, brilliant. Roach is going to go down, but Ragnarok stops that from getting any more drone damage. And at the same time, Warlings on the way. Ooh, this surround, RYUNG! Not able to pick up all of the Marines in time. Does lose quite a few to that one Baneling. So Ragnarok is handling both fronts right now. Actually cleans up both drops, forces them to pick up and get on out. Hive is already on the way for Ragnarok. He's going to be preparing for that tier 3 tech. And we'll see what it's going to be, because honestly, I feel like Ragnarok really has a lot of options. He could go for Ultralisks, could go into, I mean, I don't think it's going to be a Greater Spire, or Swarm Host. So I think it's Ultralisks, because you don't suddenly pivot this into Hydralisks. Creeper's going to continue to get pushed out, though. And right now, Ragnarok is just taking this lead, and he's trying to compound it. 87 workers for the Alpha X Zerg. Creep is already to the halfway point of the map. But the good news for RYUNG is he has kind of uncontested been allowed to get up 4 bases. Behind all of this, RYUNG has been expanding extremely well. He's been macroing up extremely well, and now he's getting this 2-2 push ready here with these Widow Mines. And so, you know, RYUNG has done a very, very good job so far of just finding himself some advantages, of finding himself advantages in a game where it looked like, you know, his initial push really, really failed, and it was going to be hard for him to get back into it. But RYUNG played it safe, kept the pressure up, and now suddenly he's in a great spot as these Zerglings going forward. Gets all of the Widow Mines. Oh, that's beautiful by Ragnarok. And RYUNG just has to back on up. There's no way you fight this army. He's going to go all the way back to his 4th. Luckily, does have a planetary there, but is that actually going to dissuade Ragnarok? Look at this, Banelings are coming through! Cancel goes down, the Banelings, there's so many! As they're going to chase down the Marines, eventually they're going to be pulled back, but the base goes down, the 4th has fallen. A lot invested there for Ragnarok, though, and look at this, RYUNG, that other drop, he never sent it back. He actually got it onto them, it's still on the map, and now is looking to clean up Ragnarok's 4th base. Picks on up, gets on out, no anti-air for Ragnarok to chase that down. Even with the Hive tech, no Spire. 5 more drones go down, this drop doing wonders so far for RYUNG as, oh, Ragnarok, he's gonna lose another base. Cleans up a lot of the army, but RYUNG, this multi-pronged pressure, man, this is the RYUNG that we all hope to see every single time he plays. This is the RYUNG that is so, I mean, just consistent with his micro, just absolutely everywhere on the map. And Ragnarok right now, all the hopes of Alpha X are going to rest on his shoulders. He needs to win this game, but right now, It's close. Excuse me. Oh, is this hatchery getting low? The Marines are also low, though. It's still going to go down. Half the Marines are going to get out, but now you have Vipers, and so nice catch there with the parasitic bomb. Another hatchery goes down without being canceled this time. And this is why RYUNG was rated so highly in those hexagons. We doubted the hexagons, but no, they have shown that they were absolutely correct. As here we go, trying to dive on in, but there's just so many Zerglings. Not a lot of beef to this army. +3 on the way. RAGNAROK is just working with Ling Bane. I mean, Ling Bane Viper. Essentially, at the moment, he's not going into any additional higher tech. And he hasn't really had the option to. He's had to build up this army in order to defend against RYUNG's pressure. And now he's also having to stay on it to try and keep up. But behind this, RYUNG, 4 command centers. You know, this is the stage of the game that RYUNG is happy playing in. This is where he feels most comfortable. Ultralisk Cavern is finally going to come down. Adrenal Glands as well for those links will just make them that much more efficient at fighting. RYUNG gonna start to give up the map pressure just a little bit, sending out another drop here to try and find some success on the left side of the map. But RAGNAROK is expanding downwards. Right now it's 4 bases. That 5th has finally finished. He's trying to get up a 6th as well, but that's the base that RYUNG is going to be trying to pressure, and so we don't know exactly if that's going to go up. +3 armor on the way for RYUNG. Already has his +3 weapons actually already finished, so his bio, it does quite a bit of damage as Vikings right now also on the way. Ooh, drop. It gets found. RYUNG just going to have to back on up. Snipes come out and ghosts are now on the map, and this just makes it, you know, an additional challenge here for RAGNAROK, who's also getting Burrow. Oh, Burrow Banelings could be absolutely massive in this game. Right now for RAGNAROK, I mean, he's working at 89 workers, but mind you, 131 army supply for RYUNG. That's the advantage that he has right now, is this massive army of bio, and of course with the mules able to keep up on that mining. Gonna try and break down the wall here. Sister tower as well, gonna go down, and supply depots are killed, and then RAGNAROK is just gonna back on up, needs to deal with his pressure as RYUNG, man, he just handles it so well. RAGNAROK is in one place, and then RYUNG hits in another as the base is getting low, but the Baneling connections are good. And RYUNG commits a little bit too far to trying to get that base. And finally, RAGNAROK finds a good fight, finds a good engagement. That's the first one that he's gotten in the past 6 minutes, maybe. Kindness plating almost done now. Spire as well on the way, so RAGNAROK can start to add on additional tech here to his army. You know, these Lings and Banes, they're good, but eventually they're going to run out of use. As a great run by here, taking advantage of that wall that was dropped down before. A Ghost even dies to the Banelings. 6 workers go down. RAGNAROK just makes 28 more Lings, and now is also coming on the other side, trying to split off the Lings from the Widow Mines. Does a decent job of it, as the tank has been blinding clouded. The units are all blinding clouded. Banelings roll on in, get the base. They're going to try and back on up as fast as they can. And once again, RAGNAROK now being the one with this double-pronged pressure. As he says, listen, you just don't have enough here. And I mean, SCVs go down, 9 fall. Cloaked Ghosts, though, trying to attack. And guess what? There is not a lot of vision. All of the Overseers have been knocked out of the sky. That Viper needs to put down a parasitic bomb. Is not able to. Surround here with the Banelings. Going to try and come on in. Widow Mines are dragged. They don't find decent connections. RAGNAROK, if he wants to find this, needs to split up his army. He's going to do just that. RYUNG has to back on up, but RYUNG back down to 4 bases. He should have the command centers, though, to replace these. Mind you, he built a lot of command centers earlier in the game when he had that lead. RAGNAROK once again being so annoying. These Widow Mines just not allowed to get good connections. And for RYUNG, you know, you really need something here to help the defense. You need to add on something, and I mean, tanks obviously aren't the best option because your opponent isn't going lurkers. They're not going hydralisks. You know, the tanks, they can just get dived on, but I don't know. Like, the Ghosts, it feels like right now, the Ghosts, they don't really have a function. You know, they will be able to snipe off the Ultralisks, and they can snipe down Banelings on the retreat, But other than that, they're just a tanky unit that's very, very expensive for RYUNG right now. Tank is gonna push it back. Oh, here we go. Baneling's rolling on in. They all connect onto a tank, and honestly, not exactly the connections that I think RAGNAROK was looking for. Let's look at that, burrowed investors. Baneling's rolling on in, gonna try and snipe down, or at least explode a few of these Marine groups. Ranged weapons is on the way here for RYUNG. That base is already low, and it should just go down. And a snipe by RYUNG is just gonna get on out. Oh my god, that Widowmine hit. As RYUNG has managed to get this game into an even position. He's managed to get it into a stalemate, at least for now, right now. Sitting on 4 bases, additional, command centers have pretty much all been used up as scans are just going down to try and keep tabs on where RAGNAROK's army is. There's just so many Widowmines in production right now. That is where RYUNG is trying to find the advantages in the Widowmines, and seeing that, RAGNAROK has kind of abandoned the air army, looks like RYUNG is just going to use those Vikings for some harassment. Ooh. Those Baneling hits just hurt so much right now. I mean, sure you get the base, but losing that many Marines, it's not easy. As RYUNG, you got to be careful here. Going to look to try and bait them into the Widowmines. Does just that. The Widowmine connections, they're solid, but you still lose a few ghosts. And honestly, the amount of ghosts that you lost in comparison to the Zerglings that you kill is not really worth it in that situation. As now RYUNG just building up bio, adding on more command centers again. He needs to try and get this economy back in motion. Nice patience here from RYUNG. Waits it out with the drop. He's now going to be able to come on in and get the cancel once again. Stop RAGNAROK from looking for that counterattack. And RAGNAROK actually hasn't, I don't think RAGNAROK has gotten the ultra speed upgrade. There is no extra speed on those ultras off creep, which is making this defense a little bit harder in the top left. That army with that ultra just is not able to move around as fast as RAGNAROK would like. Here we go. RAGNAROK going in. Oh, that's a bit dangerous to dive in with all those Zerglings. Once again, just going in, getting a surround. That's a massive Widowmine hit, though. But look at the bungle! Oh my, as RAGNAROK comes on in, blows up most of the army. And RAGNAROK, where was that? Where was that infestor? I think it burrowed in from the back. At least on the high ground there. RAGNAROK cleared up a lot of the pressure, but I mean, mind you, he also used a lot of his army, and he didn't get all the ghosts. Another fungal growth coming out. Widowmine hits have been absolutely insane. Good drags there onto the Widowmines and not find the best connections now, and that's a lot of the Widowmine line gone. RYUNG just has to back on up. He's gonna have to lift off the command center. Baneling's finding connections. Widowmine's going down before they can fire. The Banelings are just rolling forward. They know they have 3-3. They are so tanky. RYUNG, though, is going to be able to try and push this back. No more Banelings means that he can start to fight it with just the bio. This drop has been trying to just clean up as much as it can. Keep RAGNAROK as busy as possible. Once again, pushing this location. The base is getting low. Widowmine shots the retargeting by RYUNG. Oh my god, that was beautiful. Oh, the friendly fire. That is not good, RYUNG. It feels like this game is slowly starting to get just... Oh, the fungals. RAGNAROK just walks the infestors over. That game was a slow decline. And RAGNAROK going to be able to take game number 1. He's going to be able to keep his team alive. So one more win for Alpha X. We go to that ace. RAGNAROK most likely comes out again. He looks to go 3-0 on the day. But RYUNG, he can just try and end it here. And there's a lot riding on this, it feels like. So if this goes to the ace match, I mean, I don't know. That momentum with RAGNAROK, it is a scary notion. It is extremely scary. And we'll see. That last game, that was incredible. Such good play from both players, and so close. Also, thank everybody for following. I hope you've all been enjoying. I know that WTL, I didn't wake up early enough to catch the first match. I thought there was going to be someone covering it, but of course with ESL going on, a lot of the people that usually do are busy with that. So hey, you know, jump on in. If I had the time, I would go back and cast the other one, but I'll probably end up doing that through replay another time, because I know people will want to catch that too. So I'll probably end up casting that one by replay later, of course, on this stream. So do follow if you want to catch that, because I'm just gonna start to get back into the streaming. For those who don't know, hi, I'm TitanOnFire. I do casting for ESL and Alpha X. This I think is gonna go up on the Alpha X YouTube. So you can find me there. But yes, we'll definitely do that earlier match, because I know that was a banger. Sidestorm Gaming versus, who was it? Ooh, I can't remember these things off the top of my head. Let me put this up here. I know it was Sidestorm. I don't know who it was versus though. There we go. Winter. Yes. Cool. There we go. I found it. I'm there. Sidestorm versus Kaitsa. That should be a really fun one. But yeah, and also the really cool part about WTL is it has now switched. It is now not just pro teams, but it now has a code A and a code S. So there are two essentially parts of it. And the code A, you go through a qualifier. These teams play in best of sevens, and then obviously I believe the top 2 teams, or is it the top 4 teams? I'm not sure. But essentially, a number of these teams will then go on and go, I believe, to the code A. If I am not wrong, I don't believe I am. I don't think so. Yeah, top 4 teams qualify for code S. So. Yeah, so it's really cool how they've done that now. It gives opportunities for a lot of teams to get practice, especially against high-level opponents, which is really awesome to see. And it gets a little bit of variance. You know, you get teams cycling through with that code A and those qualifiers. But let's look at this game. Moondance, quick third command center on the way for RYUNG, as we kind of expected. He's going to be going for that macro. He's going to be going for that that 3-base play into the harassment, into the multi-pronged pressure, the pushing. But it's actually a Banshee is the choice there, as one drone goes down, but the 2 Hellions are caught, and the Reaper also goes down. So it's going to be Cloak Banshee for RYUNG. Overlord is going to scout it. A bit unfortunate there for the Terran. Obviously, I think RAGNAROK is a safe enough player that he wouldn't get his Spore Crawlers in time anyway. For those wondering, the Spore Crawler timing, just watch. Usually, that first Banshee does finish up around 420, though. If your opponent's build is solid, 425, 420, they should be finishing their Banshee. With the Spore Crawler build time, 430. If you build a Spore at 430 in every base, you shouldn't get caught out by those Cloak Banshees, especially if it's off 2 base. Circling there, just going to be able to scout out the Hellions, and now stay back on the way for RYUNG. It does feel like he's going to start to prepare here for a push. 3 racks. 2 racks are going to be added on, going up to 3. Baneling Nest on the way for RAGNAROK. 6 Hellions here to poke. It's quite a. I mean, it's not a massive amount of Hellions. I think RYUNG is being smart here. Some players do like to go up to a higher Hellion count. Obviously, if the 2 were alive from earlier, that'd be about 8, which is, I think, where most players are comfortable with. That allows you to attack creep. If Queen is caught out, you can actually kill it with that many. As Evo Chambers on the way, engineering bays. Upgrades are going to be coming through for both players, and I think a big part of that last game was that RAGNAROK kept up with the upgrades. And RAGNAROK has always been a great player with keeping up with upgrades, and especially when you're playing Ling Bane, that is so important that you do that, where you continually are on top of it. The 2-2 should be mostly in time with the Terran, as these Banshees being very, very annoying so far. 2 of them flown out at a time, and the reason is just so you can one-shot these drones. So even with the vision, even with the Spore Crawlers, it's very hard for the Zerg to then really deny you from finding damage, especially with the 2 Banshees. Hellions gonna push down this creep and back up before these Zerglings come in for a surround. As that's 4 bases now for Ragnarok. But RYUNG, I mean, I'm not gonna say I called it, but I called it. 5 racks being added on. We're going up to 8 racks on 3 base, 1-1. It's going to be a massive timing attack here for RYUNG. And I'm very interested to see how this works. And he's found a lot of drone damage to support this as well. I mean, 4 drones going down. I think he got, what, 6 earlier? So 10 drones in total falling. Ragnarok only sitting at 65 drones. Definitely a bit lower than he would like at this part of the game, where you're trying to go up to 4 bases. Oh, nice catch there. With the Zerglings going to be able to snipe off at least a few of those aliens. But armory being added on. There we go. +1/+1 is going to be finishing up, and for RYUNG, what is the plan? Are you going to push out? Yeah, it looks like it. Tanks, Marines, 1-1. This is going to be a very, very strong timing attack, but it's all going to come down to the micro. Because mind you, behind this, you also have Ragnarok with 1-1 with centrifugal hooks. It's a lot of Lingbane available here for the Zerg. Just needs to wait for those upgrades to finish, though. He needs to take this fight with those upgrades. This 5th base, actually, is going to be threatened, but look at the surround. Oh, Ragnarok. He is ready for this. He's got 2 flanking. He's got flank angle already set up. The Queens are going to come on in. They're going to be able to tank up, or they're going to be able to soak up the tank shots at least. As Ragnarok, just a few Banelings coming in, and now look at the surround as Ragnarok just pounces. And he's going to be able to get on top of absolutely everything. The tanks are going to get blown up. RYUNG, he has to pick on up and leave. And that is the danger of Moondance. This map, it is very open. There are a lot of angles that your opponent can come from. And now Ragnarok, he's just going to swing this across the map. Says, listen, you've actually lost enough. I think I can just fight this. And I don't think he's wrong. RYUNG, he's trying to fight the best he can with the Marines. They have 1-1, and it might just be enough with the tanks soaking up a lot of damage. But mind you, Ragnarok, for RYUNG, he's pretty all in here. He is pretty all in. There is no 4th command center. It is 2-2 on the way. It is a continued Marine and tank production as this creep has continued to be pushed on that right side of the map. And you like the idea, but Ragnarok, it feels like he's just ready for all of this. He is so prepared as the Marines are taking as best a trade as they can, and actually get quite a few Zerglings for that trade. Hydrosten on the way, though. It's going to be heading into Lingbane Hydra with the Lurkers eventually added on for Ragnarok. And it's not bad on this map. Definitely not, as Ragnarok, he's in a comfortable position. 5 hatcheries already up, adding on a 6th hatchery, a 6th base. Meanwhile, RYUNG is still sitting at 3. You know, I think as a Zerg, you're pretty happy. Of course, RYUNG is mining even, has those mules, has that extra income from those units. That drop is spotted. And just gonna try and snipe the Overlord. Actually, yeah. Overlord speed is done, so doesn't even get the Overlord. That drop gonna be denied. Infestation Pit on the way for Ragnarok. This 2-2 will be finishing up for both players, and for RYUNG, do you just go for another push? It feels like it. His 4th command center is on the way, and again, this is the nice part about Moondance, is that because you're able to get up this pocket 3rd, there's a lot of leniency here for the Terran. Even if that push doesn't work out, you're still at a very strong economy. You know, you're only down 2 mineral patches from if you took your regular 3rd base. And of course, that gas income as Terran is really not that important. Missing that extra gas for Terran does not make a massive difference because they're not usually using up all of their gas on 3 bases anyway, as great folks fire out the Banelings does lose a few Marines. But for RYUNG, that has really been his saving grace in this game, is now his 4th command center will be finishing up so he can get that additional base. Is adding on Liberators as well, and of course these can be used to siege, they can also be used to harass. They can be used to distract Ragnarok while RYUNG is setting up a push elsewhere, but first this creep needs to be getting rid of, and of course that's a lot of creep. Ragnarok's been doing a very good job. The right side of the map is spread almost all the way to RYUNG's 4th. As, oh no, RYUNG. This is a massive counterattack. And look at that, the Marines just all get blown up. RYUNG is going to try and push down this base, but, I mean, his natural is in shambles, and there's still so much here at home for RAGNAROK. His Liberators doing their absolute best to try and clean this up, but 36 SCVs have gone down. RYUNG is down to 23 workers, and sure, you might get this base, but, I mean, what else are you going to get? It's a massive army for RYUNG across the map, but I don't know if really you're going to be able to find the killing blow with this. As the Liberators doing their best to clean up as much as possible, the Marines are going to be brought down. Mind you, there are mules available for RYUNG, so he can keep his income up even while he's taking losses. But RAGNAROK is just adding on 2 additional hatcheries across the map where this push isn't. So eventually that gets cleaned up. RYUNG cleaning up creep, sieging up tanks. He's going to keep this push going. He knows he has a good position here. He wants to try and take advantage of it, but look how much Ling Bane there is here. It's just so much. RYUNG, are you ready? Where are the splits? Where's the preparation? He's not splitting his Marines just yet. The Banelings are rolling in from multiple angles. And sure, it's a lot of losses for RAGNAROK, but that is RYUNG's entire army that goes down. And the few Marines up in the main are not enough. GG, we're going to an ace match. And RAGNAROK, you can see he was a little bit worried there at the end. That was not a fun position to be in. There was definitely a chance that RYUNG could take that.